Holly Cotton here, and you guys know I love when I hear a good feel good story, a story of someone coming out here and doing big things. And I have to definitely hear their story. And I love to get you guys free advice because you might be someone who is doing what they're doing or aspire to do what they're doing, and you maybe need some tools to be successful in your own journey. So today I have Wade Menendez, and
Yeah.
you also know him as Wade the Barber on all of his social media platforms. And we were actually practicing his name before this, and now he got me about to say it
Yeah.
wrh.
Yeah. No, you got it. You got it. You got it. You got it.
So Wade Menendez, you guys. And so Wade is a barber, obviously, as you see on all of his social media. But not only that, but he has completely went a whole different trajectory with that. So that's just a part of his story of what he has, what he started as, but what he's done. He has obviously owned his own barbershop, and and he's in Maryland, you guys. I wanted to tell anybody that too. So
Yeah.
he's a Yankee. Isn't that above the Mason Dixon line? I think you're a Yankee.
Okay. A Yankee. All right. Okay. I'll
I
take
lived
it.
in DC too, so I know that whole area. And also Dwayne, oh my God. And Wade now is also, he has a certified hair loss. He's a certified hair loss specialist. He is a celebrity barber. He's one of the first barbers to offer custom hair units for men. So I'm reading all of his bio, you
Oh man,
guys.
that
Like,
bio crazy.
yeah, it's like 32 pages long. So we're gonna go
Jeez.
through, and Wade's gonna tell us about all of that. So welcome, Wade.
Hey, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me.
So before we get into all the celebrity stuff, because you guys, celebrity, I even say loosely, because I mean this man is
Oh man.
like doing huge things. He's got posters everywhere. You might find him on a billboard just walking through Target. And so
Ah,
he's definitely not just your average barber. But I want to just go back, Wade, because I know that that was something that you decided to do as your career. And I don't know if you thought that this was going to be part of what happened, or were you just trying to do something that you were passionate about? Tell us your story.
yeah. I just was I got into this doing something that I was passionate about. I actually I used to paint apartments with my dad. I was a paper boy. I was doing retail. I worked at different type of jobs. I got fired from different jobs because I just wasn't a good fit. And barbering was the only thing that I was really passionate about. So I started cutting my hair when I was 12 years old, and then after I went to college, I did a little bit of college, got a certificate in business administration. So I did like a year and a half of college, but I was like, man, this ain't for me, man. Like trying to go to college full time and work a full time job, that was kind of like it was stressing me out. So the only thing I was really passionate about was cutting hair. So about this time, I was cutting some of the kids at my church and like my brother's hair, stuff like that or whatever. And I feel like barbering it ran in my family. So my dad, he could cut our hair. He would cut our hair sometimes. My great grandfather, my grandfather would cut. My uncle had a shop in his house. All the neighborhood people would just come in, and he would service them. But I went to barber school, and once I went to barber school, like I feel like everything just aligned and it just opened up for me. So from there, I started cutting Little Mo. I don't know if you know who Little Mo is. She sings.
Mhm.
She's the R&B singer.
I'm
So
I'm hip hop
Oh, you
too.
know what
I
I'm saying?
know.
Hey, listen, I was just making sure. I didn't know. Yeah. So no, but that was crazy because I'm still in barber school, and little Mo comes to the school, and well, what happened was she saw a cut that I did on one of my boys or whatever, and she started pulling up to the school, her and her husband at the time, and then some of her people, her team or whatever. So like, of course, the whole school is like on fire. They're like, "Yo, that's Lil Mo. She coming to see you." Like, I'm like, "Yo, like this crazy." I'm all nervous. Yeah, but it opens so many doors. So from her, I met Ti. She was signed to Cash Money at the time, so Lil Wayne, all of them. I mean, traveling with her at this point, meeting a bunch of celebrities, and then just it just started growing and growing and growing and growing from there. And then I ended up getting into fast forward or whatever. Ended up getting into hair units back in 2015, and so I was already cutting celebrities. I was cutting for BET Awards. I cut for a lot of BET stuff, movies and stuff like that, or whatever, doing set work. But the hair units was really what like catapulted me to the next level, and it's changed my life. So started doing the hair units for men, and people are flying. They coming in from all over the world to come see me in the small little Glen Burnie, a little city in Glen Burnie. So I've had people from Belgium come in, from France, from Europe, from the Caribbean, from Canada, just come to get the service. And also I taught my classes in these places as well. So I've taught in London twice, teaching the techniques. I've taught in Barbados, Canada. I did a tour all throughout U.S. Um, and it's really just been really dope. A really dope experience and ride. Just the impact that's been made from the services and everything. So.
Before I get to my next question, what
Mhm.
exactly is a hair unit for anyone who doesn't know?
Okay, so pretty much it's like a hair piece for men, like just how women get hair pieces and get hair added on. People call it man weave. I don't like to term it as that. I don't like to call it as man weave because anything you associate as a weave for men and how you talk about certain things will determine, it will make or break you. You know what I'm saying? So men
Hmm.
don't really, they don't want to be associated with anything they say weave. So sometimes you have
Well,
to.
and it makes it sound feminine.
Yes. So you change the name. We have hair unit, hair system, cranial prostheses is the proper way, the proper term for it. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so yeah, so that's what it is. And yeah, so people that have alopecia, cancer, lupus, male pattern baldness, this is a service for them.
So Wade's the one, y'all, who started us getting hair fished.
Oh man,
And
that's
blaming on him.
insane. Hey, listen, I'm just trying to make options for the fellas. You know what I mean? Y'all have options. The fellas gotta have some options too. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
hey, hey!
That's
I
all.
ain't hating
That's
on the
all.
hustle. I
That's
ain't hating
all.
on the hustle.
You know what I mean? No, because honestly, like I think that it's a lot of men's. At first of all, everybody don't look good with a bald head. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And they don't feel confident about it. But man, listen, I mean, it changes the confidence levels. Guys are really down about not having hair. It's really a big thing. So I've even had women come back to me, and girlfriends come back to me and say, you know what, since my husband or my dude got his hair, he's treating me better. His confidence is better. Then I've also had the females come, and that's why I don't let them come to the service no more, come to the shop, because they like, oh nah, take that off, you about to start cheating, you about to mess up. Nah, you know
Right.
what I mean, you too confident. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's crazy.
So so that made me think of another thing. So I and with me being a nurse, I know that like there are certain situations where I don't offer my medical advice, but I may sort of say, "Hey, would you be interested in hearing about this?" Or, "Hey, I don't know what this means, but you might want to get your cholesterol checked
Mm-hmm.
or your blood sugar checked cuz I'm seeing some symptoms and stuff like that."
Yep.
So I kind of, as a professional, I don't want to say it and like be in their business because not a lot of people are open to receiving stuff.
Yep.
So how do you, as a professional, and you're in this space where you see a man and he don't want to let that hairline go, like that hairline is all the way Wade, you already know, and like his hairline is back here,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's like there's like this time where it's like, bro, you gonna either have to let it go or we have the hair
Oh,
kit that we
come and
can
see
put in.
me. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So are you ever in situations like that where you're cutting someone's hair and you're like, listen, your hairline's back here. I'm, I don't want to overstep, but maybe I can introduce you to something. How do those conversations come about?
I can honestly say now at this point, because that's all I really do is hair units. I don't really I don't have that problem. But it takes me it takes everything. Like I was at the gym just the other day, and I saw a guy. His hairline was all the way back here. I literally wanted to get off of the treadmill and be like, "Bro, I got something for you. You do not have to walk around like this. You don't have to do this to yourself. You know what I mean? Come on and holler at me. Come on and see me. You know what I'm saying? But no, but it's a thing where I used to, because I mean it used to be a thing where I used to tell people like, hey man, let's let it go, or let's figure out something. But then before I started doing the hair units, but I was adding topics and enhancements to hair at that time.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm still trying to doctor it up, but yeah, but then there's some guys that just be like, I literally just lost a client actually last week, and he was like, man, I'm gonna just go to the bald head for the summertime. And ironically, once we shaved it off, he was like, man, this ain't half bad, you know. So I don't know if he's gonna ever come back, but it is what it is, you know.
Don't know. I mean, I'm caught in between because, I'm in this middle age, right, where I'm seasoned now, where,
So
I could have the son or the daddy, like I'm in this
facts.
good
We
space
see
or
you.
whatever.
We see you. We see you.
So
Absolutely.
sons and daddies, shoot your shot. But
Oh,
I don't know. So there's so many men that are in this age range or whatever that have the bald head, and I
mhm.
don't know because I don't know if I even really like a bald head. And everyone's like, well, So I get it. And
I,
I don't like when they have that like
the little,
thing back here,
the little.
that fat
Oh, you don't like the
roll or
fat, oh, the little neck roll. Yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
neck roll.
yeah,
Thank you. Because it might not be fat. It's just the roll. And I don't know. And everyone's head is not smooth.
yeah,
Some of them got some stuff in.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
I mean, you gotta do some stuff to kind of make sure if you're gonna go that route, make sure you go to the dermatologist and deal with your stuff back there. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Just saying.
Yeah.
I had to throw my two
Oh
cents
my
out there,
God.
Wade, because I'm like,
And yeah, I mean,
not every woman wants you
most
bald.
definitely.
So get your
I
hair
feel like
unit.
if a guy go bald, he definitely gonna have to have a beard though. If you don't grow no facial hair, yeah, you can't, very few guys can get away with that because it's gonna look like you got leukemia or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Facts.
crazy.
Facts. So what is I'm still gonna come back to my question I have, but
Okay,
now we went on a whole nother
sorry,
thing, Wade.
sorry, we
So
done went on a rabbit
what
trail.
I know. Now I'm curious. So what is the care? So if a man gets a hair unit,
Hmm.
what is the care for that? Like like showering, shampooing. What is the care for? So if a
So
man comes in right now, this is the first time they're getting a hair unit,
yeah,
you're like, okay, these are the do's and
yeah, I gave him
don'ts.
a whole instruction sheet with all the information, but there's different types. So there is three different types of units. So there's the 2 to 4 week one. That's you can't do nothing to that. You can't wash it. Don't comb it. It's just let it be what it is. Then there is the 1 to 2 month. It could last 3 months as well, where you can do a little more. You can do like dry shampoo. It can be you can get a little water on it or whatever. Or you can use some product and stuff like that. Then I have the long lasting one, which can last up to 6 months. And that one is the one that you can take on and off. You can wash it. You can do pretty much anything with that one. You know what I mean? But you're gonna have to use.
Mm.
So I tell anybody that's first getting it, stay away from water and the pool unless you know how to maintenance it. Because if something happens, then what are you gonna do, right? But I have
Right now, you're gonna have it
right.
lifting on the
Yeah, and then now if you just got it done, I'll say this. If you just got it done within the last 1 or 2 weeks or whatever, you should be good. If you did get in the pool or you got it wet or something like that, you're gonna be fine, right? But if you don't know what you're doing, so I got clients that's been getting it for years, they've been getting it for a long time. They maintenance it themselves. They go swimming. They go do whatever they want to do. I mean, anything, but they know how to fix it if something hypothetically if something happens, so it's actually most of my clients, they go to the gym, they work out, you know so it's a myth. It's a little myth about, oh, you can't sweat or you can't put no water on it. If you put some water on it, it's gonna fall off. That's not true. Yeah, yeah,
Okay, good to
yeah,
know. Yes, because
yeah,
I need you to still be
yeah,
fine. Like just because you got a hair
yeah,
piece, I'm gonna need you to still be
yeah,
working
yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah. Most definitely, most
keep,
definitely.
keep it
Yeah.
tight, keep it tight. Just because you got a little hair, don't mean you can pull women. You still got to
Yeah,
have
you
all the
got
other
yeah,
parts
yeah,
too.
you gotta do your big one now, for sure, for sure.
So Wade, let me ask you this: There are, if I walk in it, first of all, where I live in Houston, probably in a 3 mile radius, there are probably 100 barbershops,
Okay.
right? And in that barbershop, there's probably 5 to 10 barbers rotating, or even on a Saturday, all the seats are
Okay.
taken. So when you think back to your journey and going where now, like you said, you're with celebrities, you're doing all, these sports leagues, you're doing all of these things, which is not something that the average barber
Okay.
does. When you look back on where you were and the things that you were doing, what do you think segued you into that some people aren't doing, or the experiences that they aren't getting? Like, what was it that you think that you, when you think back, was a pivotal moment to where you started going on this other trajectory with being a barber?
I think really, I mean, it's about. I tell everybody, do not do not aspire to be a celebrity barber per se. You know what I'm saying? If you aspire to be a great barber, where you do, it doesn't matter if it's a celebrity or if it's anybody, that you're trying to do the best job that you can on each head, because everybody's a walking billboard. So at the end of the day, how I get a lot of celebrities and stuff like that is because people are like, oh, okay, who's the best barber in this area? And then people comment and say, go to him or go to this guy or whatever. Or is, a lot of it's word of mouth and who you know, honestly, too. So if you are connecting yourself with people of influence, if you're connecting yourself with people in the arena, you know what I mean, that you're trying to go in. And so what I think what happened with me, because I'm also a musician as well, so that's how I kind of got to. I cut a lot of artists and a lot of musicians and drummers and singers and what I mean, stuff like that. People that are working in the music industry. So I kind of put me in a situation where they like, oh, bro, come and cut. I got artists for you to cut or whatever. Or I have, we need a barber on set, stuff like that. You know what I mean? I know some barbers that they just cut. They cut party promoters, because that party promoter is gonna they're gonna be around celebrities and be around artists, and when they come to town, they're gonna be like, "Oh, I need a cut. Who's the guy here to go?" And so it's connected like that. But I never really aspired to be a celebrity barber. Honestly, I didn't even think I could be a millionaire off of this. Honestly, I never saw it. You know what I mean? And I never saw a celebrity barber. Like, I've been cutting since for what professionally since 2003 to 2004, right? So it wasn't, the whole cut celebrities wasn't a big thing. I mean, I think back then it was just more barbers were, I don't know, the industry just was like, even when I would tell people I'm a barber, they like, oh, that's it, like, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like it wasn't a thing about, oh, you just making a lot of money. And I think over the years it's just gotten better and it's progressed over the years. It's funny because I was getting an award somewhere in Connecticut one time, and the girl was like, she was getting an award as well. It was all the table with all the honorees or whatever, and she was like, so what do you do? I'm like, I'm a barber, and I like to do this because I'm just like, I'm just a barber. I'm just, I'm nobody for real. But then you go Google me and you see, Lord bless me a little bit. Yeah, you know what I mean,
Look, then you see this list right here come up, y'all. Then you
hey
see
yo,
that.
but
Yeah.
honestly, I'm just trying to like I feel like my assignment was to kind of like help the barber culture and people respect barbers a little more. Yeah, we can be a millionaire and we can have stuff and we can have influence. You know what I'm saying? Don't sleep because, and I tell people all the time, it doesn't matter whatever you decide to do. I don't care if it's making lemonade, or I don't care if it's the littlest thing that you think, make it into an empire and make it into a real business. And I think that's what a lot of barbers lack, because they look at it as a hustle. They look at this industry as a hustle instead of a business and an empire. So they just trying to get a quick, few dollars or whatever, and they just kind of all over the place, and it's not thinking business mindset. One thing I'm blessed with, because my parents were all both entrepreneurs, so I think that entrepreneurial spirit kind of ran in my family, and then I feel like God has always connected me with the right clients and the right people to kind of be like, to trigger some thought, be like, oh, bro, like, did you ever think about this? Start doing classes, and because even with that, because I've made a lot of money off of just doing the classes, because when I first got into this, honestly, I'm the one that made it popular. I've had a lot of TV news coverage, and a lot of stuff is happening with this, right? But there was another guy that was, and I talk about this in my class that I teach. There was another guy that was doing it before me. Um, but he was trying to corner the market. I reached out to him, and asked him to teach me what he was doing. He didn't want to teach me, you know. But then when HBO Vice News came and did a documentary on me, then I was on Black Enterprise, and Rachel Ray did. I did a segment on Rachel Ray, and all this other stuff started happening, right? Then he wants to come back and say, "Oh, well, he asked me to teach him, and this and that, and he's a fraud, and this and that." And it's like, no, I'm not a fraud, bro. I asked you, and you could have had the pleasure to say, "I taught this guy." You know what I mean? And so
Mm-hmm.
one of my greatest like feelings is when I see one of my students like doing well, and to be able to say like, oh man, that's one of my students. Like, you know, people come to me all the time, oh, have you heard this barber in this area, and have you heard this? I'm like, yo, that was one of my students, and they doing their big one, and I'm proud of them. I'm proud of them, you know. But you cannot corner the market and expect to you can't hold your hand closed and expect for more to come into your hand. If you're trying to be stingy, you're trying to keep everything to yourself, you cannot be blessed. You're going to limit yourself. And you know, I'm in London one time. um I'm just there passing through. I think I was coming from Dubai or something. I had a layover and I ended up just staying. And one of my students saw it. Oh, you're in, bro. I gotta meet you. I gotta just come and just take you to lunch and just shake your hand because of you, me learning this service. Now I'm making six figures and I'm able to take care of my family. I'm making you know, money that I can really live a better life. You know what I'm saying? It's just like those are the great things. Those are the feelings. I don't know. It's just like operating in your purpose and operating in your calling. You know what I mean? I know that my purpose is it's your purpose is always tied to your passion. You know, what is it that you're passionate about? I love doing what I do. You know what I mean? I love creating, not just barbering, but I'm an artist, so I like creating, whether it's music, whether it's taking a blank canvas or room and just making it something else. I'm an artist in different areas, you know what I'm saying? So you know, I think that's what it's about. I know that you know, I feel blessed and I feel honored that I'm able to be in this position to help others and make impact in the world. Sorry,
I
I done talked
love
so
that,
long.
Wade. And then actually, I had a question and you started going
Hmm.
into the answer for that question too. But I will always tell you whenever I'm on the other side, when I'm the one that's getting
Hmm.
interviewed, I always say the exact same thing
Yeah,
that you said. That's how you know that you are where you're
yeah,
supposed to be and you're doing what you're
yeah,
supposed to do. Because people ask me all the time, like, how do you have all of these jobs and how do you have all of this and how do you do this? And I explain to people that to me, it's all the same
yeah,
thing because my purpose is
yeah,
to help others. So everything that I do is lucrative because it's aligning with my purpose. So it's just like you said, like your all these other things that you're doing are still aligning with who you are and what you're passionate about and what your purpose is and having that
yeah,
heart. And I say the same thing, Wade. I'm like, to me, it seems like I'm just doing the same thing, but a different
yeah,
way of doing it because it's all
yeah.
the same thing, whether it be a book, speaking this, that, this, being a nurse, whatever. It all goes with
Absolutely.
helping people.
And
So
that's
we
it. But
we
that's what we're
hear
here
Wade.
for. We're not here just for ourselves. We're here to help other
Hmm.
people. You're blessed to be a blessing to somebody else. So at the end of the day, it's just like, but when you try to be stingy with it, it's like you limit yourself, man. Trying to just think about yourself, you know. So yeah,
And I love that too because I think that also I think that whenever how we were all because you guys Wade and I actually met at an award show and we were getting an
yeah,
award um in
yeah,
Houston. And so but I think that when you exude that
yeah,
energy, you get high
yeah,
energy people back. And that's how we were all like
yeah.
laughing. It was almost like we knew each other
Yeah,
for
yeah,
however long because we're all just like
yeah.
cracking jokes and talking, but it's just that positive energy and you pick up on that from other
Absolutely,
people. So I
absolutely.
love that. Now, let me go back into this because you started answering my question that
Okay.
I had, but you didn't give me the whole answer. So there's I said I was thinking as you were talking, I was thinking in my head, my next question was going to be about transitioning from hustle to entrepreneur and how to have a business model. And you started
Yeah,
talking about it. And I was like, oh my God,
yeah,
he's answering it. So there are a lot of barbers right now that are like you said they go in on certain days they're trying to make some extra money or they're just kind of treading water because they're maybe not making enough to actually sustain a
Yep.
lifestyle. So it's almost like a hustle rather
Yep.
than a business. So for those barbers that are there or anyone that's in that industry, what is some advice that you would give them to where, hey, this is what you can do to shift from just being a barber in the shop to whatever to actually having this as your physical business? Because I think a lot of people don't feel like if you aren't the owner of the barber shop, then that's not your
Yeah.
business, that you are just hustling if your name's not on the title. So how can those barbers that are just there, that are going from renting a chair or renting a space, transition what they're doing into actual
Well, I mean, I
business?
think I mean, first of all, make sure you're set up. Make sure you have your LLC or your corporation or whatever you want to set up. Make sure, because I know a lot of us, even when it's time to go buy something, because we ain't set up correctly. That's a whole nother story. But anyway, all right. So if you're going to be a barber, don't limit yourself. I think a lot of guys, I run into this with even some of the old school guys, because they're just used to just cutting, no enhancements, no, not adding any services to what they're doing, not selling any products to your clients. So those are things that I had to learn along the way as well, because it's like, you know, you can be a one-stop shop for different things, but because your mindset is limiting yourself, you're looking at it as like a quick little hustle, and you're not thinking about it as the holistic approach. Like, why not offer different services? Even as far as the hair units, there's a lot of barbers that be like, I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just stick to cutting. But I'm like, if you have a client that needs a hair unit, why not make $650, $700 real quick? I do 7 to 10 people a day. You know what I'm saying? Like, legit, it takes me an hour, maybe an hour and a half. So it's kind of like you doing a one cut in an hour or 30 minutes. Well, some barbers take an hour for a whole cut, but you're only making, and on the barbers, I mean, the price for cuts are going up a little bit, but you're probably making $60 to $100 or something like that. But why not you know what I'm saying? Like, why would you limit yourself? What is it? I don't really
Right.
understand, but because of the mindset, and I think that our mindset, the Bible talks about. I'm sorry, I'm not a spiritual guy, but the Bible talks about the people are destroyed because of a lack of knowledge. And if your mindset is not where it needs to be, you're gonna limit yourself. Like, you're gonna miss it. You're gonna miss it. And so I people tell barbers all the time. There's even barbers. It's like, they turning down clients. Oh, I'm booked. I don't have no time. Man, listen, there's a season, especially if you don't have a family. There's a time where you have to grind. I didn't get here overnight. I was already making multiple six figures before I even started doing a unit. So then it just went to another level, right? But because I was in here all day, there's sometimes you have a season where you need to grind. I think this generation right now, they're a little lazy. I'm not gonna lie. Like, everybody wants stuff fast. Everybody wants stuff quick, and it's like they don't want to put nothing into it. Think it's just everything's just supposed to be handed to them. But it's like I would literally go to the shop at like maybe 8 and 9 o'clock in the morning, and wouldn't leave till 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes, it ain't the healthiest thing, but there's a season where I was committed to grinding. I was committed to just making my money. I was committed to stacking my bread, and you have to be on that type of mindset and not spending it. I wasn't hanging out, going out to the clubs and spending it out, buying this and buying that. I was saving. I was budgeting. I was making sure that I was, and that's how I was able to build my bank account to a certain amount, and I can buy houses, and because we have to use this. Because barbers, I mean, we have the potential to make a lot of money, right? But use what you
Mhm.
make, and then flip it and use it and invest into some other things. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different types of investments out here, whether it's real estate or the stocks or whatever the case may be. Take that money and use it to grow your portfolio. You know what I mean? So it's it's so much that goes into it, but I think what it is just making sure that we don't limit ourselves. Always grow, always educating yourself to add more stuff to what you're doing. Just educate yourself. Yeah, yeah,
I love that. I love that. That's great advice. And I struggle. I'll tell you this. I just posted this
yeah.
on my story. And it was a video and it said single gifted people don't understand multi
Mm-hmm.
gifted people. To a single gifted person, a multi gifted person, it looks like they're scattered
Mm-hmm.
all over the
Mm-hmm.
place because we are doing so many things
Right.
because we're good
Right.
at so many things. So someone is looking at that and they're like, "Well, Wade, you're a barber. Why are you
Right.
doing all? Why now you on a picture on now you on that thing in Target, now you on this,
Right.
now you on that, and the same thing for me. It's like, okay, so I forgot. So you were a nurse, or you're not a nurse anymore. So what's going on? And I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah.
one thing that I do, and I do
Yeah.
82 other things too, because I like my bags too. I'm like bag
Right.
from there, bag from
Facts.
there, bag from
Facts.
there. Like, but they want to put
Yeah.
you in this box because they don't understand. So it's like, but I'm not in a box. I'm not. That's one point
Mm-mm.
on my
Mm.
galaxy. I have a whole star
Yeah.
field out here
Absolutely.
that I'm doing. So I love
Yeah.
that you gave that example.
Oh
Okay,
no, what I was gonna
go
say
ahead.
is, you know, think it's time. It's like you got to and you take time, excuse me, to master one thing, then move on to the next, and then, like say for instance, like with the
Mhm.
barbering thing, right? So I'm just doing regular barbering at first, and then you want to set work. That's another. That's going and cutting on a movie set or cutting different artists. Okay, that's part of it, right? But then you have the units, and then you sell products, and then you teaching classes. Then I have a book about how I got to where you know what I mean. These are all streams. Then I have the network of barbers where like I'm placing them with clients. I mean with students that have taken my class, but it's all in the same sphere per se, but you know what I mean. Then it's the modeling. I'm doing brand influence for different. For I just did a post today for Palmer's. You see me in Target doing that's working with another brand. It's all kind of it goes together, but it's not the same thing. You understand?
Hey, listen, it's the Wade Menendez galaxy, and you can make it as
Yeah,
shiny as you
yeah,
want with as
yeah,
many
yeah,
stars as
yeah,
you
yeah. And
want.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I'm telling you, Holly Cotton, we glitter everywhere. This is not a black hole over here.
facts.
We gonna shine, and everything that you do is just another point
Absolutely.
on your
Yeah,
spectrum. So, hey,
yeah.
we I
Most
I'm
definitely.
walking the
Yeah,
same
most
same
definitely.
life.
Most definitely.
So what I wanted to my last question is to ask about, because of course I want to make sure that we're also being like and this is how you can support
Right.
us as well. So what are some of the products that you sell? I know you mentioned the hair units, but you have a product line as well.
So I
What
am
do you
working
do?
on that right
Mhm.
now as far as certain products.
Okay.
Actually, I have like a apparel line that's coming out that's launching in probably in the next few weeks. So have that, but I do sell products on on my site, but it's more so generated geared towards the hair unit. So the adhesives, hair. You can buy hair from my website. You can buy my book on my website. I have travel bags for barbers.
Which is called
Say it
what?
again. The book. Oh, it's called.
The book is called.
Sorry, the Success Factor. I just had a brain. I just was froze. The Success Factor: 12 Keys to Help You Win in Life. So it's not just about barbering because people have they read the book. And I also have it on Audible as well. But they read the book, but they're not barbers. They're in different industries. So I don't talk about just haircut. I talk about my story, but I also talk about pride and having integrity, your character, building your character, because being successful, it's just not about wealth or money, because it's about having goals and completing your goals, knowing your purpose, knowing your why. We talk about budgeting in there. We talk about spirituality. We talk about your ego, because a lot of us, our ego can really get us, messed up. So we dealing with a lot of different things I feel like will help a lot of people with whatever industry you're in, So yeah, it's a little bit about the book.
And the course and the other part of it, how does that happen if someone is like, oh well shoot, I'm a barber, or oh, maybe I'm almost gonna
Yeah,
or maybe I'm not a barber, but now Wade wants
yeah,
he got
yeah,
me
yeah, yeah.
thinking I should go to
All
barber
right,
school.
so
So
the courses I
so
have an online class that you can access it in any time. You go in there tonight, you can access it, and you have a certain amount of time to complete it. But yeah, for online class, and then I have to do the live classes as well. My next live class is July the 15th, here in Maryland. So yeah, we have the courses. I'm working on launching a 90-day course where it's like it's geared to help people kind of hold your hand through the whole process instead of like a 1 day kind of course or whatever. So 90-day course where you do mentorship and you can ask questions and then kind of build a community with that. So we'll be launching that soon as well. So yeah.
Okay, and all of that's available.
WadeTheBarber.com, www.wadethebarber.com on all social media outlets as well. So Instagram, I'll be posting a lot through Instagram and Facebook. And then yeah, you can always just access everything from the website, Wade the Barber.
And he does use correct spelling,
No,
so
it's
it's
not
not
DA. It's not
DA,
no,
it's
nah, nah. It's
TH.
THE here. THE. THE.
And barber has ER or at the end, not
Nah, we do it the right way over here. Right way. Whew.
Yeah, because a lot of people I see all the
Yeah,
times with
yeah, yeah.
duh. I'm like, so the, and they're like, or oh, I'll say no, I'll say the like
No,
the,
duh.
and they're like, no,
Yeah,
the like
yeah. I
duh.
done seen THA, DA. Yeah,
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 so just know he's the only one. So I love that, Wade. Thank you so much for sharing this, all of that. And I love that we were able to also use your story to
yeah,
inspire people. Like you said, it's more than just a story
yeah,
of being a barber, but about just how you found your passion and your purpose and how you're living that and making lots of money doing it. And I love that you said that that whenever you sit there and I do kind of the same thing. People are like, "What do you do?" I'm like,
yeah,
"Well, I'm a nurse, but then I do
yeah.
some, but then I'm an
Hey,
author, but
we
then
got a lot
yeah,
of we got a
and
lot of, but
yeah."
then you gotta have different things going on, especially these days and times, man. You can't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to at least, you have to at least have one book because one
Yeah,
book is passive income. I mean, I love whenever I see my little KDP or whatever or my Lulu
yeah,
invoice come in, excuse me, and they tell me what my
yeah,
little check is. I'm like,
yeah, yeah.
I'll take
Yeah,
it,
no, that's
thank
the thing.
you.
It's about building systems, building things, have things making money for you in your sleep, but it's also making
Hmm.
impact. I did the book because I'm like, I got tired of people asking me about my story and like, how do I, they literally every day, hey man, how do you become successful and how did you get there? And go get the book. It's all in the book.
Wait, I did the same thing. I had my first book was about my
Yeah.
survival of cancer because I had told my
Yeah.
story so many times. I was like, you know what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me write a book about this. So I got a book about that. Then people were like, "How are you being successful? How are you doing
Yeah.
this?" I got a book about
Yeah.
goals, how to do that. Then they were like, "Oh my God, you just seem so happy, like you love yourself." Got a book about that, somebody's wife or
uh,
not. Oh my God, you wrote another book. How do you write a book? Got a book, Ink and Imagination, how you can write your book.
what
Like,
else?
what you
What
need
else you
next?
need?
What
I
you
got
need
it.
next? Because I'm gonna make a. Soon as I start answering three questions on the same topic, I'm
Hey,
already like,
nah,
let me write
that's
a book
lit.
about
That's lit.
this
I
too.
love that. I love that. I got a couple more books I need to be doing myself. That's real. Ooh.
I'm telling you, right. And especially, and I wrote all of those by hand. Like
Oh
now
yeah, yeah,
that we're
yeah.
in the AI generation, you can literally. Like there is no reason why you can't write a book. I just did my whole course, my affirmation course that I have
Yeah,
now that I'm
yeah,
selling that now.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, me and
Real
ChatGPT, we go
bad.
together real bad.
Hey, no, that's real. That's real. I love that. I love that. I love that.
Hmm.
Sheesh.
Hmm. And so yeah, right. We gonna
Why
we
not?
gonna why
Why
not
not?
us? Why not us? I say that all the time. Why not
Absolutely.
me?
I'm here for it. Support it.
So
Yeah.
thank you. So you guys scroll to the podcast notes. I'll have clickable links for Wade and his information, his website, as well as his social media
Hey,
tags.
listen, my
So
pleasure.
thank
My
you,
pleasure. Thank you
Wade.
for having me, man. For sure. For sure.